right now. Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful day.
Yeah.
And you know what I wasn't expecting on this beautiful day? Is being over 60 and single. Do you remember the movie Hustle and Flow when Terrence Howard said, "It's hard out there for a pimp"? Well, honey, it's hard out there for an older woman in the dating market. Actually, it's a jungle out there. Lots of hyenas and jackals. But you know what's worse? Is when guys think socks and sandals are a fashion statement. That's worse. But you know, dating over 60 isn't like shopping at Whole Foods. You're not getting the freshest produce. It's more like shopping at Walmart the night before a big snowstorm when you just grab a can of something and you hope it's not expired. And you know what else, ladies? One of the benefits to dating an older man is as our beauty fades, so will his eyesight. You don't have to be a 10 if he's not seeing 20/20. You know, my daughter, bless her heart, she said, "Mom, there's one place for sure where you can find a nice older gentleman." She said, "Go to the museum. He's probably one of the exhibits." He's not going anywhere, and he'll be there when you need him. I said, "Ew." I said, "Thanks, but no thanks." So I decided to do something different. I decided to do speed dating. Do you remember that speed dating back in the day? Where it's making a comeback. So I went to this speed dating event. And just to tell you what it is, it's usually at a restaurant or some venue where they have lots of tables and chairs. And it's timed. So they give you 3 or 4 minutes to sit down, you know, meet and greet and ask questions. Then you move on to the next table and talk to the next person. So I'm sitting at the table, and this older gentleman, much older gentleman, sat at my table. And guess what he asked me? The first question he asked me, he asked me, "What do you bring to the table?" I said, "Wait a minute. I'm already at the table. He's coming to my table, and he's asking me, what do I bring?" I said, "Wait a minute. If you want a woman to bring you something to the table, go to IHOP and tip your waitress." And he said, "You know, I like your jokes." He says, "I usually don't date old women." Wait a minute. He said, "I prefer the tenderonis." Now, when's the last time you heard that term, tenderonis? That tells you how old you were. But then he says, "I'll make an exception for you." I said, "Look, don't do me any favors." I said, "Wait a minute. Commercial break." I said, "Who are you calling old, Mr. Magoo?" I said, "Well, wait a minute. Weren't you the one who ordered the 3-minute egg and the waiter asked you if you had that kind of time?" I also said, well, wait a minute. You are so old that the National Institutes of Health had to cancel your blood type. And one more thing. You're so old, you remember when the Dead Sea was just thick. I said, "I'm out of here." So guess what? I decided to take myself out on a date. And I said to myself, wouldn't it be nice to go to a nice restaurant downtown? And guess what? Myself responded. Myself said yes. So we had a nice meal, and guess what? We had so much in common. And best of all, myself paid the bill. Isn't that right? Yeah. Thank you.